The same door Odegua once opened for lovers, the same door she slammed against her husband, was the same door Nemesis now knocked upon. Knock, knock, knock. A social worker came in firm and cold. Miss Odegua, we are here for a welfare check. Please open the door. Odegua frantic, whispering to herself. No, not today, not today. But truth does not wait. The door was open. The children's cry filled the room. The social workers entered, their eyes cold and professional. Mrs. Odegwa, after repeated warnings and continued neglect, we have no choice. Your children will be placed in protective custody until further notice. Odegwa screaming, dropping to her knees. No, you can't take them. They are all I have. Please don't take my babies. Ehinome crying, clutching to her door. Mommy, we want daddy. Ehidele weeping as they are led away. Daddy, daddy. The same children she used to destroy Osagie were the same children carried away, leaving her with empty arms and a haunted silence. Words spread quickly in her neighborhood. Neighbors who once envied her UK life now whisper behind her back, see Odegwa, she thought she had arrived. Now social services are taking her children. Another neighbor. That's what happens when pride blinds you. Even in a foreign land, shame will find you. Odegwa covered her face when she walked in the street, but no veil can hide disgrace. Far away under the scorching Nigeria sun, Osagie was sweating at the construction site. But on this day, he earned a little extra. His boss patted his shoulder, smiling. Osagie, you are a hard worker. From next week, I'll make you site supervisor. Osagie smiling faintly, wiping the sweat on his brow. Thank you, sir. Maybe, just maybe, the sun will shine on me again. For the first time in months, his heart tasted hope. Meanwhile, Odegwa's nights grew darker. She sat alone in her flat, staring at the empty beds of her children. Her makeup was smeared, her hair unkempt, her voice broken, weeping to herself. What have I done? Osagie, forgive me. I destroy you, and now I have destroyed myself. Nemesis had not just taken her children, it had taken her pride, her beauty, and her peace. Soon, letter came from authorities, investigations, court hearing, threats of deportation. Failure to meet requirements may result in removal from the United Kingdom. Odegwa screaming and tearing the papers. No, no, this cannot be happening to me. But destiny cannot be bribed. When Nemesis is hot, it hurts to the very end. Odegwa had lost her lovers. She had lost her children. Now, she was about to lose the very land she fought so hard to claim. And as the cold hands of deportation closed around her, one name echoed in her soul, Osagie. Would Odegwa return to the man she betrayed? Would Osagie forgive her? Or had the bridge already burned to ashes? The storm was only beginning. Nemesis does not knock twice. When it comes for you, it takes everything. Immigration officer, firm and official to Odegwa. Madam, your appeal has been rejected. You are hereby removed from the United Kingdom. You will board the next flight to Lagos. Odegwa screaming and begging, no, please, don't do this. My children, no, please. But the officer did not hear her cries and shouts. They only saw a case number, a name, and a shameful file. And so, the woman who once laughed at her husband was dragged through the same airport doors, deported like a criminal. The hot air of Lagos hit her face like a slap. Her bags were small. Her face was pale. Her pride was gone. Odega whispering to herself, this is not the return I wanted. No, not like this. Odegwa asked neighbors, old friends, and distant relatives about her husband Osagie. All pointed to the same place, the construction site. Her heart pounded as she walked closer. Would he spit on her face? Would he curse her name? Would he even look at her? Osagie was on the side carrying wood. His body lean but strong. Sweat rolled down his face as he walked. When he turned, he froze. There she was, Odegua, the woman who ruined his life. Odegua falling to her knees and crying, Osagie, forgive me. I destroy you. I destroy us. The children are gone. I have nothing. Workers whispering among themselves, is this not the wife that sent him to her? Look at her now, begging. Osagie stayed silent, breathing hard. He looked at her, his eyes burned with years of pain. Osagie, finally and coldly, now you know how it feels to lose everything. Odegua weeping and clutching to his feet. Osagie, please. If not for me, then for Ehinome, for Ehijele, our children. They need you. They want you. You are their father. Don't turn me away. The men around watched. The air was thick. Would Osagie forgive her? Or would bitterness win? But in that silence, something strange happened. Osagie remembered the sound of his children's voices, how they cried, Daddy, Daddy, when they were torn from him. He closed his eyes and a tear escaped. Osagie softly, almost whispering, I will not forgive you today, Odegwa, but for the children's sake, I will not cast you away. Odegwa sobbing and trembling, thank you, Osagie, thank you. But Odegwa did not know her return was not the end of her punishment. It was only the beginning. Odegwa had fallen. Osagie hardened. The children were far away, trapped in a system beyond their reach. Would Osagie and Odegwa join hands to fight for them? Or would old winds tear them apart again? The story had just begun. In a small room in Lagos, two broken souls sat in silence. The air was heavy, carrying the weight of betrayal, regret, and shame. Odegwa weeping softly. Osagie, I lied. I destroy you. I wanted the world and lost everything. The same system I trusted has now taken our children from me. Osagie, forgive me, even if it is the last thing you do. Her voice shook, but his face was stone. Osagie, cold but steady. Your words are like ashes, Odegwa. Can ashes rebuild a house you burned to the ground? That evening, a knock came at the door. It was Uncle Waifu, an old church member who relocated to London years ago. When Osagie relocated to the UK with his family, they stayed with them before they got their feet on the ground. When Osagie and Odegwa issues were going on in the UK, Osagie reported to him severally, but Odegwa never gave a listening ear to his counsel. He now visited Nigeria briefly for a burial. Osagie, Odegwa, I bring news from the UK. It is about your children. Odegwa jumped to her feet, panicking. My children? Oh God, what happened? Wife was gently placing an envelope on the table. Over there in the UK, I warned you, but you never listened. See what you have done to yourselves. Anyway, a social worker sent me this through my house address. They said you gave my number and my house address as your guarantor. They asked me to deliver it if I could find you. Hands trembling, Osagie opened the envelope. Inside, a letter written in shaking, innocent handwriting. Daddy, Mommy, we miss you. We don't like this place. We cry every night. Daddy, please don't leave us. Please come and take us home. The words cut deeper than any knife. For the first time in months, Osagie and Odegwa wept together, not as enemies, not as strangers, but as parents whose children cried across the ocean. Osagie, breathing heavily, said to Odegwa, if we are to save them, we must fight, not as enemies, not as broken people, but as their parents. Odegwa nodding desperately through tears. Yes, Osagie, I will face any shame, any punishment. Just help me bring our children back. And so the spark of an easy alliance was born, not for love, not for pride, but for the innocent cries of their children. The next day, Uwaifo introduced them to a lawyer in Lagos who once handled international family crisis. The lawyer, after going through the documents given to him, said with serious affirmation, the UK social services believe your home is unstable. If you want to stand a chance, you must prove unity, repentance, and responsibilities. They will not release the children unless they see changes in both of you. Osagie narrowed his eyes on the lawyer, and if we fail, then your children will remain in foster care or worse, be adopted away. The room froze. Adoption, a word heavier than chains. That night, Odegua sat with her phone, old lover's number glowing on the screen. Her past whispered. Voice in Odegua's mind taunting her. You can buy your way out. Men still want you. Forget Osagie. Save yourself. Her finger hovered, but then she heard her children's voices echo in her head. She held her head with her two hands. Daddy, mommy, please save us. With trembling hands, Odegwa deleted the numbers for once. Temptation lost its power. Meanwhile, Osagie knelt alone in the dark. God, give me strength. Not for her, not even for me, but for my children. The next morning, Osagie and Odegwa walked side by side through the dusty streets of Lagos, not as husband and wife, not as friends, but as two wounded warriors preparing for battle. The fight for their children had begun. Two enemies forced by fate to stand together, children crying across the ocean, a system that does not forgive easily. Will unity heal the scars of betrayal, or will the ghost of the past destroy their last chance? The storm was far from over. They are still in Lagos, but the social worker's presence is felt through Uncle Wefu and the letter. Osagie and Odegwa must face the UK system head on. The courtroom becomes their battlefield. Months later, after nights of planning, tears, and prayers, Osagie and Odegwa finally got travel permits to the UK, not as a family, not as tourists, but as parents summoned to defend their rights to their children. The airplane roared above the clouds, but below their calm faces, both carry storms inside. Odegwa whispering on the plane to Osagie, Osagie, what if they don't believe us? What if they take them forever? Osagie cold but firm. Then at least we will fight. I did not come here to watch my children vanish. London was cold, grey, and unforgiving. Inside the family court, men and women in black robes sat with files in their hands, faces without pity. The children were not in the room, but their pictures lay in the files before the judge. The judge, stern but calm, Mr. and Miss Osagie, you stand accused of neglect, instability, and creating an unsafe home. Why should this court return your children to you? The question hung like a sword in the air. Odega was the first to speak, her voice trembling, her shame naked before the court. My lord, I failed. I was greedy, selfish, and wild. I destroyed my home with my own hands. I betrayed my husband. I betrayed my children. But I have learned. My shame follows me like a shadow, and I will carry it forever. But please, do not punish my children for my sins. The courtroom was silent. Even the clerk's pen stopped moving. Then it was Osagie's turn. He stood tall, scars of betrayal still burning, but strength in his eyes. My lord, I have every reason to hate this woman. She ruined me. She framed me. She sent me away to my people and my country like a criminal. But my children, they are innocent. If we must suffer, let it be us. But give them back their family. I will work day and night. I will carry any burden. Just don't let them grow without love. Don't let them grow without us. His voice cracked at the last word. Even Odegwa, sitting beside him, wept silently. Just when hope seems to appear, the social worker stood up. These children have found stability in foster care. They are performing well in school. Returning them to unstable parents could put them at risk again. We must think of their safety. The words struck like thunder. Odegua gasped. Osage clenched his fist. The judge looked at them sternly and spoke with a calm but cold voice. This is not an easy decision. The court will adjourn for deliberation. The gavel struck. The sound echoed like a drum of war. Outside the court, Odegua fell to her knees, crying and screaming. No, they can't take my babies. Osagie, do something, please. Osagie kneeling beside her, voice low but strong. Stand up, Odegua. This is not the end. We will not give up. If we have to prove ourselves, then we will. Together we will. For the first time in years, their hearts beat with one mission, not revenge, not pride, but love. The court has spoken once, but the final judgment was yet to come. Would the cries of two parents melt the heart of the system, or would cold justice tear the family apart forever? A few days later, the family court resumed. The judge's face was carved in stone, his voice calm but heavy. Mr. and Mrs. Osagie, this court cannot entrust children to unstable parents, but we will give you a chance. For 3 months, you will be placed under observation by social services, find stable work, attend counseling, prove peace in your home. If you fail even one, you lose them forever. The gavel struck like thunder. After court, the social worker, Miss Carter, pulled them aside. Understand this. I don't believe in second chances easily. If you fight, argue, or fail to provide stability, your children will remain in foster care. Do not play games with me. Odegwa are trembling. We will prove ourselves. You better do. Osagie is steady, looking her in the eye, not with words, Odegwa, with actions. In London's cold street, Osagie hunted for work, but with no big business, no network, only scars of the past. He was pushed from office to office. One employer, dismissive, sorry, no vacancies, try again. Day after day, rejection slapped him. But then, one factory owner saw his strong arms and desperate eyes. You want work, night shift, hard labor, low pay, take it or leave it. Osagie, breathing hard and nodding, I will take it. And so, the once proud businessman became a factory worker, not for pride, not for wealth, but for his children. Meanwhile, Odegwa faced her own demons in the counselor's chair. You crave attention, Odegwa. You lied. You destroyed trust. Why? Because I thought love was not enough. I thought shining outside matters more than peace inside. Now I see I was a fool. Then prove it. Not to me, not to Saji, but to your children. Each word peeled her open like a wound. One evening, as Osagie returned tired from the factory, he found Odegwa on the phone, her voice low and trembling. Who were you talking to? No one, just an old friend. Really? He stood for a while with long silence, his eyes narrowed, but her hands shook. Osagie, hard and steady. Remember, Odegwa, one wrong step and we will lose them forever. Do not test me. Odegwa broke down in tears. For once, temptation lost again, but the crack still showed. Weeks later, under supervision, the children were finally allowed to visit. The boy Ehije clung to his daddy, tears streaming down his cheeks. Daddy, don't go again. Please don't go. Osagie's arm wrapped him tight. His heart broke and healed at the same time. But Ehinome stood back, her small face cold, eyes fixed on her mother. Why should we trust you, mommy? You lied before. You left us. Odegwa falling to her knees and weeping. My daughter, I was blind. I was foolish. But I will spend the rest of my life proving I am your mother. Please give me a chance. The girl turned her face away. No answer. The wound was deeper than words. 3 months, three battles, one fragile hope, but cracks still grew in the shadows. Would they pass the trial, or would the system and their own past tear them apart once more? 2 months had passed. Osagie's back ached from endless shifts at the factory. His hands were rough, blistered, cracked like old wood. Odegua sat in counseling rooms, fighting the ghost of her past. The children visited once in a while, their laughter sweet, but their trust fragile. The family looked close to healing, but danger was hiding in the shadows. One evening, Odegua walked alone from counseling, a shining black cap pulled up beside her. The window rolled down. A familiar face leaned out, sleek, smiling, dangerous. Odegua baby, long time. I heard you are struggling. You don't have to. Just come back to me. I give you the life you deserve. Her heart raised. Memories of luxury, parties, money, all flashed before her eyes. No, no, I can't. Not again. Leave me. Think well, Odegua. That man of yours is nothing here. Look at you, suffering. I know you crawl back. You always do. She turned away, tears in her eyes, fighting the old hunger. But temptation had left its mark again. The next day, Miss Carter visited their small apartment for a surprise inspection. The place looks livable. Osagie, you are working. Odegua, I see progress in counseling reports, but don't think I'm fool. Stability is more than a show. I'm watching every crack. Her eyes lingered on Odegua as if she could smell the weakness. That night, Osagie came home exhausted, only to find Odegua staring into space, shaking. What is it, Odegua? Talk to me. I saw him, the man from before. He offered me everything again. Osagie, I was so close to saying yes. Osagie's fist tightened, his jaw clenched. After all this, after my sweat, my blood, my pain, you dare think of running back? I didn't. I swear I didn't. But the thought, it scared me, Osagie. I don't even trust myself anymore. The air was thick with anger, betrayal, fear. Ah, one wrong move, and it was over. Unknowing to them, the children were visiting that night. They stood by the door, hearing every word. Ayinome whispering to her brother, see, mommy hasn't changed. She will leave again. Ehijele, tears in his eyes. Bet, bet, I want daddy. I want mommy too. Their fragile trust cracked like glass. The next morning, Miss Carter returned unexpectedly. She had received an anonymous tip. Someone had reported that Odegua was meeting her ex-lover again. If this is true, then the case is closed. The children will remain in foster care. Odegua, desperate and weeping, no, it's not true. Please, you must believe me. But doubt had already been planted. This case tilted dangerously against them. The trial was crumbling. Trust was broken. Time was running out. Would Odegua's past destroy their last chance? Or would the fire of truth burn away the lies before the final judgment? The end was near, but the storm had only just begun. The courthouse was packed. The air was thick. Every breath felt heavy. For months, Osagie and Odegua had fought against shadows, temptation, poverty, doubt. But today, the final gavel will fall. The judge walked in, took his seat, cold but serious. Mr. and Mrs. Osagie, this court has heard accusations. We have seen your struggles. We have seen your cracks. Now, the truth must be spoken. The children will also have their say. Suddenly, a voice rose from the crowd. The same ex-lover of Odegua stood up, bold and smiling. My lord, this woman is lying. She still calls me. She begged me for money. She has not changed. Great silence filled the room. Odegua trembled like a leaf in the wind. She summoned up courage, desperate, shouting, "It's a lie. I swear before God, it's a lie. I never took anything from him. I rejected him." All eyes turned to Osagie. Will he stand by her or condemn her? Osagie rose slowly. His hands shook. His eyes burned with fire. "My lord, she told me about him. She confessed. She was tempted, yes, but she turned away. For the first time in her life, she chose the children. She chose me. She chose her family over pleasure. That is not weakness, my lord. That is strength." The courtroom went silent. His words cut like a blade, not of anger, but of truth. At last, the children were called. The boy stepped forward first, tears in his eyes. "Daddy works so hard. He hugs us. He never lies. I want to live with him. Please give us back our daddy." The judge nodded slowly. Then the girl walked forward, her face cold and distant. The judge looked at her and asked with a gentle voice, "Child, do you trust your mother?" "I don't know. She hurt us before. But when she cried, I saw something. I saw the old mommy. Maybe, maybe she can change." The courtroom shook with whispers. Hope and doubt collided in the air. The judge leaned back, eyes closed, thinking deeply. The gavel rested in his hand, heavy like fate itself. "This is not an easy decision," the judge said. "Slowly, you have shown progress, but your past is heavy. One more failure, and the children's future will be destroyed. The question is, have you truly changed?" Every heart in the room froze. The next words would change everything forever. And then the gavel struck the table. The judgment fell. But what did the judge say? Was it reunion or separation? The answer will break chains or break heart. The story is one step away from its end. Courtroom froze. The gavel's echo hung in the air like thunder. The judge leaned forward, his eyes sharp as an eagle's. "This court has weighed your past, your present, and your children's cries. Mr. Saji, you have shown resilience, honesty, and sacrifice. Mrs. Odegua, you have stumbled, but you chose truth over lies and repentance over pride. Therefore, the children shall be returned to you, but under strict supervision. One mistake, one slip, and you will lose them forever." The court gasped. Odegua fell to her knees, sobbing. Osagie closed his eyes, tears streaming silently down his face. The children ran into his arms, clutching him as if never to let go again. Outside the courthouse, reporters gathered. Flashes of camera lit the air. Odegua stood, trembling but not ashamed. For the first time, she spoke not with arrogance, but with humility. "I destroy my home with greed. I lost my way, but my husband, he forgave me. My children, they gave me another chance. I will never, never betray them again." Her words were not for the camera, they were a plea to heaven. Osagie, Odegua, and the children walked out of the court premises together, not rich, not powerful, but together. The road ahead would not be easy, but the chains of betrayal had been broken, and from the arches of pain, a new story was being written. And so ends the story of Osagie and Odegua, a tale of love wounded but not destroyed, a tale of greed punished but forgiven, a tale of children's tears turned into hope. Remember this, my friends. The eyes that refuse wisdom will surely see tears, but the heart that embraces truth will find peace again. If you have learned something from this story, do not keep it to yourself. Share it so others may find wisdom. And subscribe for more tales that pierce the heart and heal the soul.